Imagine this. You spend 2 years pouring everything you have into building your dream, only to have it wiped out, completely, overnight. Well, that's exactly what happened in Nairobi. This was a meticulously planned robbery that didn't just steal from a business, it stole a future. And we're going to break down how it all happened.
And those words, they come straight from the man at the heart of this story, the owner, Moses Mwangi. And you can feel it, right? This wasn't just about losing inventory from his shop, Mr. Bingo Computers. This was the sudden, total collapse of everything he had worked for.
So, what's the price tag on a stolen dream? Well, it's 16 million Kenyan shillings. That is the staggering value of what was taken. Let that number sink in, because it really paints a picture of just how devastating this heist was.
All right, so let's start with the aftermath. We're looking at what used to be Mr. Bingo Computers, a business that was, just as the title says, wiped completely clean.
I mean, just think about that for a second. 2 years of sweat, of investment, of building something from nothing, and it was all dismantled in less time than it takes to watch a movie. This wasn't some random smash and grab. No, this was a cold, systematic erasure. So you have to be wondering, how does an operation this massive even begin? Well, the chilling part is that it didn't start with a bang or an alarm. It started with a quiet, deceptive calm. Let's rewind the clock and see how that night unfolded.
This timeline really reveals the crew's patience. It all starts just before 10 p.m. You can see the ringleader on camera just casually chatting with the security guards, lulling them into a false sense of security. An hour later, things take a dark turn. One guard is incapacitated and dragged away. Then, it's quiet for 2 hours, until 1 a.m. when the actual break-in begins. By 3 a.m., they're gone. It's just this calculated, almost predatory patience.
Okay, now let's focus on the break-in itself. Because once those guards were out of the picture, this crew's efficiency was honestly stunning. The actual forced entry, just getting through the shop doors, took them only 12 minutes.
Yeah, this was definitely not amateur hour. The CCTV footage shows a team that just moved with purpose. There was no wasted motion, no hesitation. This was a professional job, planned down to the second and executed with incredible precision. And this right here, this is their blueprint. First, neutralize security, which they did with that seemingly friendly chat. Second, force entry, bam, 12 minutes. Now step 3 is so important, selective packing. They weren't just grabbing sealed boxes. Nope, they were opening them up to take only the most valuable items inside. And finally, a swift extraction into a waiting vehicle.
So what did they get away with? The numbers are just jaw-dropping. We are talking about over 500 laptops, more than 100 phones, including all the popular iPhones, and tons of other high-value accessories. They literally targeted the heart of the inventory, leaving behind this graveyard of empty boxes and worthless chargers.
And this is where the crime scene quickly becomes a deep, personal tragedy. For the owner, Moses Mwangi, the aftermath is just absolutely crushing.
And this comparison, it says more than I ever could. On one side, you have a business, a dream, a future. And on the other, the reality of what was left behind, just an empty shell. The contrast is devastating. The entire soul of the business just vanished in under 2 hours. But this is where the story gets truly heartbreaking. You have to understand, this isn't just about lost profit for him. As Mr. Mwangi explains, most of that stolen inventory was bought on credit. He borrowed money from his family, from his brothers, from people who believed in him and his dream. It wasn't even his money yet. It was all debt.
And so that brings us right back to this number, 16 million. But now it means something completely different. It's not just the value of what was stolen anymore. It's the crushing weight of the debt that Moses Mwangi is now buried under. The thieves didn't just empty his shop, they may have completely destroyed his financial future.
So, with all the damage done, where does the story go from here? Well, the focus now shifts to the investigation, to the hunt for the people who did this. A manhunt is officially underway. Now, there is one crucial piece of hope in all of this. The entire operation, from that first disarming chat to the final getaway, was all captured on CCTV. We know that detectives at Nairobi's Central Police Station are going through this footage, and they're saying their investigation is already at an advanced stage. And that leaves us with this final hanging question. The evidence is there. The suspects' faces are apparently visible on camera. But what does justice really look like for Mr. Bingo? Is it just about catching the bad guys?
Or is there any way to recover a dream that was so methodically wiped clean in just a couple of hours? I guess that remains to be seen.